What's going on, guys? Your boy H-Style back here today with another video, and there's been something I've been wanting to talk about for a little bit, and I've kind of been wondering, like, what's next for Need for Speed. Now, with the recent release of Payback, and I know the game still gets continuous updates since it's been out, I think right now it could be safe to say that it is, I don't want to say it's dead, but it's dead but kicking. You know what I'm saying? Uh, because there ain't. I mean, since the Speed Cross DLC, uh, there hasn't really been anything big since then that's come out. Um, and the game may have already hit the end of its life cycle. And since it's been out, when you think about it, there have been improvements here and there, like to make the game better when they increased bang and when they increased rep a while back. They've been made, but there's been nothing major change like on the level or on the scale of Battlefront 2. And really, it's because there really isn't been any sort of bit of a pushback from the Need for Speed community, because right now us racing game fans, we are in that little bubble niche right now, where we're not the majority, where this isn't Star Wars or Shadow of War. Now, if something like this had happened, say years ago, when racing games were still in the full swing of things, this would be at that time a Battlefront 2 situation where it at the time I could see it pissing a lot of people off. Um, but I feel like some could argue, well, they'll do this because there really isn't much of a pushback, and the Need for Speed community ain't maybe not be as big as something like the level of Star Wars or Shadow of War to bring about change. Um, but the issue with it's really my issues with the game. It isn't the core game. I mean, even though I posted a review to the game like months ago, it's not really the core game itself I have issue with. It's more the micro gambling mechanics and pay to win mechanics in the game I really had a huge issue with, and that pretty much shaped and made the progression system in the game. Now there were some gameplay details here. There were some bits of the gameplay I wish were better, but the main part was how they handled the microtransactions and the loot boxes. And if they needed those in there, they could have made them better to the point where they wasn't egregious, where they wasn't pay to win, where they were actually courteous. If you could put courteous in microtransaction or courteous in a loot box in the same sentence, and think what's the catch or what's not the catch. Um, there's still like some of my main issues that's still in the game right now, even though I haven't played the game since it's come out. After I got my fill with it, I went ahead and traded it in because it really. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I still kind of stand by what I said in my review, that I think it's a underrated game, but it has some issues. It has issues, and the bulk of those issues are the micro gambling mechanics. But some of them, it's still an in-game slot machine in the game, and you could go to some YouTubers that will defend it to the death for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, and it's like I can't defend that. I mean, you having an actual in-game slot machine in the game is undefendable. The microtransactions still exist. They haven't fixed that yet. The loot boxes are tied to the progression system still. Basically, is the progression system at this point. Now, who knows? It may have got tweaked a little bit, But my hope is that moving forward, like whenever they do push out their big final update, their big final piece of content or whatever they're gonna do, that will be the last big update for the game. It needs to be a complete overhaul on the level of Battlefront 2, because that way, just in case if anybody did not buy the game because of these micro gambling mechanics, they can say, you know what, I may give it a shot. At this point, it may be what, $20 at GameStop or Walmart, wherever you go. So I think if they were to issue a big update like that, that would be the best thing for the community. That would be the best thing for the game. Um, and what I mean by that, the loot boxes are essentially the progression system, is that the grind is real. It's too real if you don't open up a loot box. Which the loot boxes, which are the base shipments and the premium shipments. The base shipments you earn in game. Premium shipments you gotta pay for with real money. And the base shipments are earned every time you level up. But the caveat to it, you need some type of stable internet connection just to open up a loot box that you earned in game in a single player game. And they still ain't fixed that yet. Now, I don't know if the grind has changed since then. It may have changed. It may have gotten easier. As much as they've updated the payout rate for the bank and rep, but it still don't excuse that this shit's still in there. And there are even some key customization features that are paywall behind the premium shipments, such as neon underglow and tire smoke. Simple. These features right here that I'm talking about were in previous Need for Speed games without a loot box. I even think Carbon and Most Wanted had them, maybe other Need for Speed titles as well. And neon lights, that was in plenty of Need for Speed games, going all the way back to the underground days, fam. So there's no excuse for it to be in the game. And I understand why they said, oh well, we need to have microtransactions to cover for the marketing costs. But look, it don't. If you gotta have microtransactions in your game, don't let it be shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't piss off the wrong people. Don't poke the bear. Don't kick the hornet's nest. Don't do none of that. Other issues that the part tokens, they have part tokens, which pretty much is the thing that you use to spin the set in-game slot machine, and you can get them by trading in speed cards that you don't want, or by opening a loot box, and that's still a big issue. The speed cards instead of actual car parts is another big issue, and I feel like they kind of half-assed the customization in the game on that front, because it's like they took one step forward with the customization and took another step back. The one step they took forward was everything is locked when it comes to spoilers and rims and stuff like that. You had to go out to the world and do some actual shit, like hit a speed of 150 miles an hour or something like that, just to start unlocking stuff. And I felt like that was pretty dope. I felt like that was a cool concept. But why didn't they do the same thing for the performance parts? They could have had all the performance parts locked, and let's say you pull up into a certain shop or a certain brand shop, then you go there and all the performance parts are locked, and you gotta essentially earn your performance parts, earn your nitrous, earn your brand new engine, earn your horsepower or turbo, whatever the case may be. That's how I feel they could have done that. I think it's safe to say though that Ghost is probably already in the works, in pre-production for the next Need for Speed, and I think the game, it may release, a final update. I think they'll release a final update by the end of this month or before the end of this month, and spend the rest of their time this year focusing on the next iteration of Need for Speed. And they did the same thing for the Need for Speed after the Need for Speed reboot, which was always online, and I hated. Um, and what they did was they had a big final update for the game. They came out, I think it was April 26th, I believe. I could be wrong. And after that, they said they were going to focus the rest of their time on the next Need for Speed, and that they did. Um, and the next game, I think the next game must not have microtransactions. That's a must. Or loot boxes. Have actual progression in the game like older games. Have actual car parts instead of cards. Better drift races, because the drift races I felt they were fine, but they could have been a lot better. Hopefully a sequel to the story, because I think some people could overlook the story a bit. A deeper customization system like Underground or Most Wanted, maybe even Carbon. And I would expect to hear something about the next game possibly in January 2019, a full announcement in March 2019, and a full gameplay reveal or trailer at EA Play 2019 during E3 of that year. Now, and keep in mind, this is how they did for pay. This is what they did for Payback. I think it was during like a meeting. They pretty much said, "Yeah, we plan on releasing the next Need for Speed in 2017." What they said in 2016. So I think they'll do that same thing for the next game. They'll say something during like a board meeting and say, "Yeah, we'll be releasing the next game in 2019." But with that being said, guys, what do you guys think about all this? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. We can have a discussion and talk about it. If you enjoyed my video, smash that like button as hard as you can. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Tap the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all my content. You'll never miss a video. And until next time, guys, it's been your boy H Dog, and I'm signing out, bruh. Peace.